Hello, and welcome back to the Castle Combat YouTube channel. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the two legendary cards, Aurora and Andromeda. And it was suggested by Colin Lowe. Remember, if you have any ideas for a legendary card review, don't forget to leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get to that card as soon as possible. I probably won't do cards that aren't in the new set yet, so just suggest the card and I'll tell you whether it's in the new set or not, and if it is, I will be sure to make a video on it. So let's get into it. There are no actual legendary lores for these cards. By legendary lore, I mean these little pamphlets that tell you about the cards. But I actually emailed Rob, and he was able to give me some information on them. So, Aurora and Andromeda are twins. They were born over 3,000 years ago. And elves live a very long time, so that's how they're able to look so young. 3,000 years old, and they still look very young. The twins were very good wizards and learned from the best elf teachers. Andromeda was the more powerful of the two, but Aurora studied under the oldest elf wizard named Antipodal. When King and Queen passed the King and Queen passed their kingdom on to Andromeda, she became queen. Many centuries passed, and the elves invited a human sorcerer onto their island. His name was Cartouche the Conjurer, the most powerful human wizard they had ever seen. And you guys know, Cartouche became Pharaoh Frostbite many years later, and actually destroyed the elves. Andromeda and Aurora sank beneath the sea with the remaining elves. Very few of them had lived from the plague that Frostbite had created. It is believed that they still live and wait for Crazy 8 to get the key from Pharaoh Frostbite to raise their island back from the sea. When they do come back to Sagaheim, they will no doubt seek revenge on Pharaoh Frostbite. So, some other stuff is, the elves are most allied with Purple Good, although the elves were probably allied with everyone. I mean, not everyone, but most of the people, because they're probably pretty friendly. He has the blue key as well, which rose his pyramid. Pharaoh Frostbite has the blue key, and he acquired it from Eclipse, who is... I'm not really sure whether... I know Eclipse is has to do with Morgana, but I'm not really sure in what way. So, here we have Crazy 8. He was in the thing, so I'll review all these cards though. So, Andromeda says... Well, Andromeda has a rivalry with Pharaoh Frostbite. And super healing, if you win, roll 2 dice, choose 1. You can bring back 1 warrior with the same power to your warriors. So, Andromeda is really, really strong, and she can be included in any good guy army. So that's really, really cool. Now we have Aurora, and Aurora is, she's rivaled with Plasmo, and I think he may be a Cosmic Combat. I'm not sure though. Her ability is Light Show. The lowest battle total wins, and her ability cannot be negated. And I've got to say, I've lost to Aurora many times, because Aurora is just a really, really strong card. Crazy 8. Crazy 8's, they changed him up a little bit, and I really like him. Now people actually use him. Now he's pretty good. So his ability is, he's rivaled with Pharaoh Frostbite. Before battle, choose. 1, you do not roll a dice, and your battle score is 8, so that's, one of them. And second, first player to roll an 8 on 2 dice wins the battle. So, it's kind of like a luck element there, which is really cool. Crazy 8 can basically beat, it doesn't really matter what power total the enemy is, whether they're a Grendel or whether they're, just even a Frost Knight. Crazy 8 can just win because of his really, really cool ability. It also mentioned Pharaoh Frostbite, which I have here. Some of you guys suggested a binder tour. I'm not sure if I'm going to do one yet, just because there's not a whole lot of new cards in the set. And I haven't actually put all of them in the binder because I didn't think it would really make sense to only put, some of the cards in. Yeah. So, here, let's get to Pharaoh Frostbite. So these are Pharaoh Frostbites. This is kind of his army type thing. Here's Pharaoh Frostbite himself, the one and the only. He's a lot like Andromeda, except you can bring back one warrior with the same or less power. So if you roll a 6, you can bring back anyone, unless they're like a 7 or something, which is kind of unlikely. But yeah, that's mainly Aurora and Andromeda, and then of course Crazy 8 and Pharaoh Frostbite. I can do a video on Pharaoh Frostbite because I think he has a lot more to him. You can also kind of see here is the Banished Castle, and this is where the elves were, and Crazy 8 is an elf jester, so yeah. We'll see if the elves get revived at some point. That would be really, really cool to see an elf army. Really, really interesting. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Comment below any suggestions for videos in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.